Caitlin Clark has just won the ESPY for Best WNBA Player.
What's up, everyone? It's Jax, and on the surface, that clip seems simple. The biggest name in basketball wins another major award. Most channels are running with that, talking about A'ja Wilson being in tears, pushing a simple story of a rival being upset. But you and I know the real narrative is never that clean. You're here because you're a narrative analyst, and you know there's a story behind the story. The truth is, this ESPY award isn't the headline, it's the final straw. It's the flashpoint that connects a pattern of perceived disrespect, a secret Nike shoe deal that's raising questions, and a series of public comments that reveal a superstar who feels she's been betrayed, not just by the fans, but by the very machine meant to promote the league. This is the story of how one fan-voted trophy may have pushed the WNBA's most important rivalry to its breaking point. We're going to connect all the dots that the mainstream media won't. If you're ready for the real story, do me a favor and hit that like button. It tells my team we're on the right track and you want more deep dives like this. Okay, let's get into it. First, we have to filter out the noise and correct the record. The ESPY award Caitlin Clark won on July 16th was the 2025 ESPY for Best WNBA Player. But the critical piece of information that gets lost in the shuffle is that this award was for her performance during the 2024 season. This wasn't some mid-season award for 2025. This was a look back at her historic, record-breaking rookie year. And just as important, the ESPYs are a fan-voted award. It's not decided by the league, by players, or by GMs. It's a measure of popularity and public.
She beat out A'ja Wilson, Breanna, Stewart, and Napheesa Collier.
Opinion. She beat out A'ja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and Napheesa Collier. And right there in that list of nominees is where this entire narrative truly begins. Because while Caitlin Clark was having an unbelievable rookie season in 2024, one of those other names, A'ja Wilson, was having arguably one of the most dominant seasons in the history of the entire league. And that's not an opinion, it's a statistical fact. To understand the weight of this, you have to understand what A'ja Wilson did in 2024. We're talking about a season for the history books. She didn't just win the official league MVP award, she became only the second player in WNBA history to win it unanimously. Every single voter looked at the field and agreed A'ja Wilson was number one. And the numbers back it up completely. That season, she shattered the all-time single-season records for points with 1,021, rebounds with 451, and blocks with 98. It was her third MVP award, and this is a player who already has 2 championships under her belt. So let's just lay the facts on the table. The league's official, undisputed, unanimous, most valuable player lost a fan vote for the best player of that exact same season to a rookie. A phenomenal rookie without a doubt, but a rookie nonetheless. This is the disconnect. This is the disrespect that forms the foundation of this entire story. And when you look at it that way, you start to see why this wasn't just another trophy. But the story doesn't end there, because this feeling of being overlooked may go much deeper than just fan perception. Okay, now we have to move from documented fact into the territory of reported rumors and social media analysis, and this is where the pieces really start to connect. This is where we get to the betrayal mentioned in the title. There have been persistent rumors and reports circulating online that A'ja Wilson's signature shoe deal with Nike, a massive career milestone, was kept under wraps for a long time. According to these reports, Wilson herself revealed she had known about her Nike deal for 2 full years. Yet Caitlin Clark's deal was announced first, creating the public perception that the newcomer was prioritized over the established multi-time MVP. Think about that for a second. You put together a historic, unanimous MVP season, and you still lose the fan vote. And behind the scenes, you're reportedly waiting 2 years for your signature shoe to be acknowledged, only to see the rookie who just beat you in that fan poll get her announcement out first. Suddenly, the narrative shifts from a simple rivalry to a pattern of behavior. This is the context that so many are missing. Do you think where there's this much smoke, there has to be some fire? Let me know what you think about the Nike situation in the comments below. When you combine the sting of the ESPY vote with the reported frustration over the Nike deal, A'ja Wilson's recent public statements start to look less like random outbursts and more like a pot boiling over. It's the consequence of that pattern we talked about. This isn't speculation. Wilson herself has given us a window into her mindset. Let's look at her now infamous comments about playing the Fever in Indiana. When that quote came out, many people framed it as her being soft or hating the fans. But listen to the words. She's talking about the pressure, the feeling of constantly having her guard up, waiting for something to pop off. This isn't just about a basketball game anymore. For her, it seems to represent a focal point for all the narratives, the debate, the criticism, and the feeling of being positioned as the villain opposite the league's new hero. It's the sound of a player worn down by the weight of the story being written around her. This is also where reports from social media have noted she's been quick to block users, which some label as her being unlikable. But for a narrative analyst, it can also be read as a human being trying to control an overwhelming wave of digital noise. And this is where the media's role becomes critical, because some outlets are actively throwing fuel on the fire with misleading or outright
up there with the best plays of Caitlin Clark's career. The best play of Caitlin Clark's career.
Fabricated narratives. You've probably seen clips like that one. The problem is, that's not Andre Carter. The person they are showing is the highly respected ESPN analyst Andraya Carter, and her commentary on Clark has actually been very nuanced and supportive at times. More importantly, the central claim from the original video that sparked this whole conversation, that A'ja Wilson was in tears after the ESPY announcement, is completely unverified. There are no legitimate sources backing it up. It appears to be pure fabrication, designed to create drama. And this is why we have to filter out the noise, because the real story is far more complex and, frankly, far more interesting than these cheap fictions. So when you strip away the fake tears and the misidentified analysts, you're left with a much bigger and more important question. This isn't just about A'ja Wilson versus Caitlin Clark. This is about the path the WNBA as a league and a business is choosing to walk. We're watching a real-time case study in brand building, media influence, and the complex dynamics of race and recognition in professional sports. The league and its partners, like Nike, are making a calculated decision to build their rocket ship around a single, undeniably marketable star in Caitlin Clark. From a business perspective, you can see the logic. Her arrival has brought unprecedented viewership and attention to the game. But the critical question the narrative analysts have to ask is, what is the cost of that strategy? When you pour that much fuel into one engine, does it risk burning the other superstars who have been carrying the league for years? The ESPY controversy and the Nike shoe rollout aren't the cause of this tension. They are the symptoms of a league at a crossroads, forced to balance explosive new growth against the loyalty and respect owed to its established icons. So, what's your take on all this? Who do you think bears the most responsibility for this situation? Is this a failure of Nike's communication, a strategic misstep by the WNBA's marketing arm, or is this just the messy, unavoidable result of a fan-voted popularity contest? Drop your detailed theory in the comment section below. We're going to be tracking the fallout from this, especially as both the Clark and Wilson signature shoes get closer to their official launch. Make sure you're subscribed and have your notifications turned on so you don't miss that analysis. Finally, if this video helped you connect the dots, share it with another narrative analyst you know who needs to see the real story behind the headlines.